Today I'm going to be making a really yummy black forest ham and onion quiche. And here are the ingredients that we need for our pie dough. 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 3/4 of a cup of unsalted butter, 1 teaspoon of salt, and about 6 to 8 tablespoons of ice water. So those are the ingredients for our actual pie dough. Now I'll show you the ingredients that we're going to need for the quiche filling. After that, we're going to come back here and we're going to start our pie dough. To make our pie dough, it's really simple. I'm going to take my all-purpose flour and get that right into our food processor. I can add in all of my salt. And then all of our beautiful butter. And if you're using salted butter, simply omit the salt that you saw me add in just now. So at this point, I just want to turn on my food processor just to break down the butter into tiny little pieces, and that will also coat them with the flour. You can either do on just for a few seconds, or you can just use your pulse. And I just want to break down all of that butter. Okay, that's good. Just take a fork and just show you all of that butter has completely broken down now, but I can still see pieces of butter in there. And that looks good, just like that. And now we're ready to add our water. So I'm using ice water here, and the reason why I'm using a very cold water is I want to relax the glutens that have developed in the flour. So I'm just going to add in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we'll go 7. Get our top on. And now I'm just going to pulse this again, and I want to see if this is going to be forming a ball. If I have enough liquid in there, it will form a ball. And there we have it. You can see that ball has developed. I'll just open that up and you can see our ball here. So at this point we are finished with the food processor. So I'm just going to clean up. I'll come back in 1 second. We'll get a little bit of flour down on our work surface. We'll just get that all out. This is a really nice dough. Okay. Just get that into a ball, kind of, and I'm just going to eyeball that and cut that in half. So that gives us enough dough to make 2 pie shells. Now at this point, the glutens in here are not really relaxed because all of that motion that was going on with our food processor. And even if you were doing all of this by hand, you still want to relax those glutens. And how you're going to do that is you're going to put this into the fridge. We're going to wrap this up with plastic wrap, and we're going to let this really just relax for a good half an hour. So I'm going to wrap these up, and I'll be back in a minute. So I've got myself some plastic wrap. I'll get my little discs down. And it's always good to flatten out your dough balls so that you get them into a disc. So after they're chilled and you bring them back out of the fridge, it's a lot easier to roll these out. So there's 1. And there's 2. So I'm going to pop these into the fridge, and then we're going to start on our filling. So here are the ingredients that we need for our quiche filling. I have 4 eggs, a half a cup of milk, a 1/4 cup of heavy cream, a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, a half a teaspoon of salt, 1 onion, 1 cup of grated cheese, and I'm using old cheddar in this recipe, and a half a pound of ham, and I'm using black forest ham in this recipe. A recipe note, if you don't want to use the cream, you can just use 3/4 of a cup of milk, and it will work just as well. I like my quiche a little bit more on the rich side, so I am using heavy cream in this recipe. So let's get started. At this point, I have finely diced my onion and that is ready to go. For my Black Forest ham, I'm also going to slice and dice this, and that will be ready as well. Now, you can actually pop this into the mixture that we're going to make and just do it like this, or what you can do is you can put it into a fry pan and lightly fry both the onions and the ham, and that's what I'm going to do because I really want to get a little bit more flavor into my quiche. So I'm going to slice all of this up, dice it, I'm going to fry both of these up, and then I'm going to come back and I'll show you that before we add it to our mixture. Just before my beautiful Black Forest ham and our onion go into the frying pan, I just wanted to show you what they look like before. So now I am going to pop this into my frying pan. I've just put in a little bit of olive oil and a little bit of vegetable oil, and I'm going to fry this up, and then I'll come back and show you. So now we're going to work on our dough. Get our beautiful chilled dough ready to go. I'm going to start rolling this out. So as you're rolling, you want to always make sure that your dough is not sticking to your work surface. You can give it a little bit of a turn. And that will help you keep a nice circle. I'm using a 9-inch tart pan today, so I have to roll this out. So it's a little bit larger than that. I'll show you what I'm using. This is the one that I've chosen for today, and I want it to go a little bit bigger than that. So I'll keep rolling. And we'll check that out now. That looks pretty good, like that. So we are ready to go. Just grab an edge and just gently roll it up on your rolling pin. And then using your thumb, you can unroll it. Try to eyeball where the center is going to be and then get it right over. And then push all of your dough down into the bottom. Just like that. So you drape it over and let it go right into the corners. And then you have an option. You can either lift the dough over the edge, the lip, and you can cut it off, or what you can do is you can bring it in a little bit and then cut it, like you see me doing here. And this creates a little bit of a lip, kind of like what you see in one of these disposable coffee cups or drink cups that you buy. You have that little bit of a thick lip. And then what you can do is you can just take that and just give it a little bit of a push downward, and that just creates a slightly thicker edge to your tart. So you push inward, push inward. You see I'm making a little bit of an air pocket there as I push. And that looks good. And then I'm just going to go around and just fix this all up. Try to make it uniform all the way around. Perfect. Then we're going to dock our dough, which simply means we're going to put a lot of little holes all the way around the dough, and that's so that our dough does not puff up when it's actually baking. I got myself a fork, and you simply want to just go around the base and just tap it, just like this. If you don't do this, what will happen is you'll have little air pockets, little puffy areas that start puffing up when it's in the oven. And that's good. Just like that. At this point, I am going to pop this into my fridge and I'm going to chill this for about 30 minutes. Once your pie shell has nicely chilled down, grab yourself a piece of paper. I'm using parchment paper here. You can use tin foil as well. And just get it in there. I'm going to grab some peas. Just get all those in there. Little peas or beans, whatever you have. You can use rice as well. And I want to blind bake this for about 20 minutes in a 375 degree oven. And I'll just get this onto a tray. So I've got my oven set to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm going to pop this in here for about 20 minutes. I'm going to bake this off and then I'll come back. So now we're going to start on our really, really easy filling. We have our 4 eggs. I'm going to get those into a large bowl. Grab a whisk. You don't need an electric, mixer. A whisk is fine. I'll get my heavy cream in there. I love heavy cream. I love my heavy cream. That's the same as whipping cream, whipped cream, heavy cream, 35%. That's what it is. And then our milk. That's just regular milk. My pepper. My salt. And then all of our nice cheese. And our last ingredients, our beautiful Black Forest smoked ham and our onions. And just before these go in, I'll show you what they look like. So I sauteed all of the onions and that beautiful Black Forest ham together, and I'll just get all of that in there. And this just adds, another level of flavor. Anywhere where you see that you can add flavor, add it in, because it's the best way to go. You're really, really going to make this taste much better by frying all of that together before you add it in. And then a simple mix together. And that is ready to go. And by the way, before I forget, the onion and Black Forest ham was cool before I added it to this mixture. If it comes right out of a hot fry pan, you could actually turn your egg into scrambled egg, and you don't want that. So I'll put that up on the screen as well. And that's good, just like that. Okay, here we are again. So that was 20 minutes in my 375 degree oven. And you can see the edges are nice and golden brown. And now I'm just going to grab the parchment paper and lift this out. And just get out the rest of these little beans. And now before we put our filling in, I just want to let this cool a little while. So this is about 20 minutes later. The tart has cooled right down and we are ready to fill this with our really beautiful filling. So I'm just going to give this a little bit of a stir. We just want to make sure everything is combined nicely. And then we're going to pour that right into our tart shell. Make sure you get all of that loveliness out of your bowl. That's good, like that. I'll just grab a fork and I just want to evenly spread this around. Every bite you want to have all of the beautiful ingredients in each slice. Just get it all nicely placed. And my oven is set to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. And I'm going to bake this for about 30 to 35 minutes. And that looks really good, just like that. And now I'm going to pop this into my oven and I'll come back with the finished product. Oh, here we are. Oh, that looks so good and it smells really, really good. So I baked this for a total of 35 minutes in my 375 degree oven. I wish you could smell this. It smells amazing. So at this point, this is extremely hot. I'm going to let it cool right down and then we're going to unmold it and we're going to cut into a piece. I can't wait. Now that our beautiful quiche has cooled down quite a bit, I'll show you how to unmold it. I'm going to get my hand right underneath and just giving it a little bit of a push, it comes right off. And that is why it is so nice to have one of these molds with a removable bottom. You can just take it off. And now the only thing that is remaining is the little piece of metal underneath, which you can actually cut on if you wish. And there we have it. So the only thing left to do is to cut into this. All right, let's take a slice. Oh, that looks good. Perfect. Let me just turn this around. Show you the inside. And there we have it. We'll just have to try a little piece. Really, really good. So that's it for another video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you wish. I really do appreciate that. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.